it's very Nate Diaz as well, isn't it? It's very Nate Diaz, just something
Yeah.
never done before, something all eyeballs are going to be on him or be on that event. What is happening, people? We're back as Casuals Corner. As always, thank you for the support. If you enjoy the content, drop a subscribe, drop the little bell icon so you're kept up to date with notifications on YouTube. We pump out many a video throughout the week. On average, I say about 5 a week. And today we're going to go through Nate Diaz versus Leon Edwards. Completely random, out of the blue. Frank, take me through it.
All day, baby. Yeah, it's just one again. You wouldn't think, like, it didn't cross my mind. Oh, he could fight him. Diaz is kind of that wild card. Do you know what I mean? He doesn't really follow the rules, the rankings, the weight classes. He just gets thrown in there. Doesn't necessarily have to have title implications, but you're gonna watch it regardless. And let's be honest, he has chose Leon. He chooses his own fights, right? He's not going to fight anyone that they tell him to. He'll be like, I want to fight that guy. And that's who he's picked, Leon Edwards. Good fight style matchup. In terms of like the X's and O's, I'm sure we'll break it down more at a later date, but good fight for Leon, if you ask me. What do you think?
Nate Diaz is an absolute enigma, isn't he? When this fight was announced, I said to you, I completely forgot about Nate Diaz. When we was having all those discussions, those conversations, I didn't even cross my mind because, like you said, what weight class is he? Is he going to fight again? Does he want to have 3 fights this year? Does he want to have 1 fight this year? You just never know, and he just does it all on his terms. So it's quite exciting. It's like what you said as well. When he's fighting, people are watching. It's almost like every fight is a title fight, which I guess sort of brings us on to one of the sort of newest or biggest facts about this fight is it's the first co-main ever to be a 5-round event, and I think that pretty much puts into practice
Gives a little bit of
Diaz.
That's the icing on the cake, you know.
It's very Nate Diaz as well, isn't it? It's very Nate Diaz, just something never done before, something all eyeballs are going to be on him or be on that event, and it boosts the card up as well. Having that as a co-main is huge.
Facts.
Huge.
Yeah, that card's stacked. I'm sure we'll get onto it at another video. But yeah, interesting decision from Nate, who definitely made that decision to go to make it 5 rounds. History would tell that Nate's got a gas tank. I think there's no denying that. Leon's not exactly a fighter that slows down in the later rounds, so it's interesting is how I'd best describe it. But like I said before, I think that Nate is very much a tweener. He's kind of between 55 and 70. He's not a huge welterweight. The last he's fought have all been guys that have had runs at 155, but he fought them at 170. You look at Masvidal, you look at Pettis, you look at McGregor, all in reality probably large 55ers, same as Nate. They all would fit into that category. And he's fighting a Leon Edwards who is a welterweight through and through. He couldn't make 55 if he lost a limb, you know. He's big, he can wrestle, he's sharp, he's technical. I think it's a good fight for Leon. Maybe a bit of a coming out party for someone who needs a bit of respect put on his name, you know, from the fans.
100%. I am buzzing that it is a 5-round because we obviously know that Nate Diaz has that gas tank, and he's a 5-round fighter. You almost don't even want to see him on a 3-round fight. You want to see him in that 5 rounds. No, and it's the same. Exactly. It's the same with Leon as well. We know he's got cardio for days as well when he's a very well-rounded fighter. But I think the interesting thing about the fight is we don't really, to some extent, know where either of the fighters are at. So it's quite a hard one to sort of pick apart beforehand because we've obviously got Leon Edwards, who's, well, did he have a fight? Did he not? I mean, we saw him for a few minutes the other day, and he was looking good. I mean, I would assume it's MMA and anything could happen, but I would assume that if everything just sort of played out very standardly, very averagely throughout that fight, I feel like he would have been as good as that throughout a 5-round fight, Leon Edwards, especially after that layoff. But the thing is with Nate Diaz, it's Nate Diaz. He does all his work behind the scenes. You know what you get when he comes to the table. You know you're going to get enthusiasm. enthusiasm, with his fighting to fight the guy, and not necessarily in his pressers. You know he's going to come with a gas tank, and you know he's just going to come with just a chin. Like, he'll fight anyone. And I think that's a point a lot of people make is he doesn't necessarily have the best sort of record at 20-12, Nate Diaz, but he is the person, and this is why he's so popular, because he is the person that will fight anyone. Him and his brother have always been that person. They won't ever turn down a fight.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like you said, Nate Diaz picks his fights. He doesn't get told who he fights. He picks his fights. And I feel like it's almost the case of Leon Edwards. Feels like he should have had that title shot. Feels like he should have a title shot. He's been speaking a lot on the welterweight division of where he sort of sits in it. And I think Nate's just looking at that from afar and thinking, no, I need to bring this fella down a few pegs. And he'd be like, I'll be the man to do that sort of thing.
Yeah. It's a good, like you said, I agree with that. And it is a good opportunity for Leon. It's a good fight as well. Good stylistic fight. Good card as well, which I'm sure we'll talk about at a later date. Juicy card, and this just adds to it. So many cards on there, so many possible outcomes of these fights. We don't know how they're going to play out, but tell me, I haven't heard these words in a while. What do we know?
We're going to find out.
There we go. You know the vibes, people. As always, love from us. Thank you for supporting us. We're working on something spectacular, I will say. So keep your eyes peeled, stay connected on all social, all that good stuff. And thanks for support.
Peace.